Good morning. It's great to see you all with enthusiastic conversation. I wanted to welcome you and to let you know if you do have your cell phones on, if you wouldn't mind silencing them now. We love that little ring that comes on. Restrooms are behind me if you need to go. Diane found her car keys. This is good. And we know there's so many of you today. It's a little cozy, but this way you get to meet your new friends, so welcome. We're glad to have members, friends, and guests today to our 9th Annual Community Awards Celebration. I'm Linda Drew. I'm co-chair of the Liaison Committee, along with Gail Perry, who's my co-chair, and it's my honor to welcome the representatives of the 7 worthy organizations who are here today to receive a community grant. For those of you who actually read the last issue of the Communique, our online newsletter, you might recall the article about land acknowledgements. Today, in the spirit of connection and reflection, we'd like to take a moment to offer an acknowledgement honoring the original stewards of the land. As we gather today on the unceded ancestral lands of the indigenous peoples, we do so with humility and with deep respect. We acknowledge these initial inhabitants as the traditional stewards of the land. We recognize that every resident of Sonoma County has benefited and continues to benefit from the use and occupation of this land. We honor the past, present, and future generations of the indigenous peoples and their continued connection to this land as we hope for the wisdom of its first inhabitants to be with us in this conversation today. Thank you. The relationship between Impact 100 Redwood Circle and our community grant recipients is unique and powerful. We are both committed to forming a partnership in ways that benefit both our organization and our grantees. 2 years ago, I served as liaison ambassador for one of our speakers today, Simply Strings, and the former development director said, "We receive grants, but there's often no follow-up. Impact is different. You don't just give us a check, you create a partnership. You don't just disappear after the check. We really appreciate it." And that sentiment holds true. Beyond the check is more than a slogan in our organization. It encapsulates our core values, underscoring our dedication to align with and support your mission. In addition to our ambassadors, many of you are here today, who provide ongoing connections between our organization and our grant partners, some of our members serve on local nonprofit boards, others contribute their time, and many others generously open their pocketbooks to help out these organizations and give them additional support. This morning, we're going to hear from 2 of our previous grant partners. The Santa Rosa Symphony, which received a grant in support of their Simply Strings program in 2022, and the Santa Rosa Junior College program, Second Chance. Both will share with us how the grants impacted their organization, and we have a special treat. We're also honored to be joined by Lisa Carreño, President of the United Way of the Wine Country, and Lisa will speak later in the program. We're glad to have you. This is a quote that I really love. "Ordinary women become extraordinary when they join collectively to make a difference." Today, we embrace a shared purpose, nurture relationships, and celebrate our collective impact. So are we ready to get this party started? Please welcome our hosts, Colleen Pundyke and Heather McClintock, co-chairs for the 2024 Community Grants Committee.
Thanks, Linda. Thank you. Is that working? No. Oh, you turned it off?
No, I turned it off.
Oh, you turned it off? How did you do that? Try it again. Is it working now?
Flip it up.
How about now? And we have to remember to do this, or we're going to see really bad motions from the audience. So. As Linda said, we're here today to bring to a close the 2024 Community Grant Cycle. We're excited to hear from our guest speakers and to present the nonprofits selected this year to receive a community grant. The 2024 Community Grants Committee, listed behind us, is a thoughtful and open-minded group of women with whom it has been a pleasure to work. Our committee meetings have included spirited discussions where ideas and perspectives were shared and decisions were made collectively. We each reviewed all 30 of the applications and together selected the 14 finalists to present to our members for a vote. The 7 new grant recipients here with us today were determined by all of you, our membership. In addition to building connections and forging friendships, Impact 100 Redwood Circle provides us with, excuse me, allergies, provides us with many opportunities to learn. Whether it's researching topics for an Ed Talk, being an ambassador to one of our nonprofit partners, or serving on one of our many committees, there's a rich array of learning experiences for us all, and today presents another such opportunity. Heather.
Thank you. Good morning. As Linda mentioned, we do have 2 organizations today who are previous grant awardees. They're going to talk about the impact that the award has made on their work. So first of all, please welcome Jessie Paisley, Hallie Brenner, and Martha Pina from Second Chance Program at Santa Rose Junior College. Ladies.
Hi, thank you so much for inviting us and having us here. As said, I'm Jessie Paisley. I'm the program coordinator and counselor for our Second Chance Rising Scholars programs at Santa Rosa Junior College. I'm just going to share a little bit about our program, and then I'm going to pass the mic over to Haley and Martha, and they're going to share a little bit about their personal journey. So our primary work is to support formerly incarcerated and currently incarcerated folks in our community. On campus, we provide academic support. I'm their primary counselor. We have peer support. Martha's one of our peer coaches. Our goal is really to reduce recidivism in our community. Someone participating in higher education reduces recidivism by 40%. So that's a very powerful piece of this puzzle. Through your amazing gift, we've been able to create a center, and I think there's some pictures. There's me in my fantastic office. These are some of our club members at an event we had, but we've been able to create a center. Before, we were a couple cubicles just kind of spread about the campus, and now we have a whole section of the counseling department. We have a second chance space, and in that space, we've got snacks, a coffee maker, a few couches, some study space. We constantly have students in there with our lending library. So we have an each one teach one motto. So when you're done with your class, if you were successful, you can put your books in and then also offer support to the next student that's going to take that class. We are able to provide peer coaching where we help folks with technology. You can imagine some of our students who have maybe been incarcerated for 20 years coming out and joining a college campus. And navigating online learning, navigating even a cell phone can be challenging. So we have our fantastic coaches that help with that. And so your grant really created a home for us. We have the Second Chance Rising Scholar Center. We've got that space. We've got a dedicated space for our coaches. Haley's got an office right next to me now. And so we've got this great community. And I'm going to pass the mic over to Haley to share a little bit about her story.
Hello, everyone. My name is Haley Brenner. I'm the program assistant for the Second Chance program, and I am also alumni, so I kind of worked my way up. Second Chance helped save my life. I battled with about 10 years of addiction, 4 years in and out of incarceration, human trafficking, and so on. I found freedom through education. I found a home in Second Chance. I was able to rehabilitate myself inside, outside, and all the above. I'm now growing my career, and I'm super grateful for leaders like Jessica Paisley that can show me that we can be empowered leaders, confidants, and change our communities and empower parts of ourselves that we didn't know that were there. And we really appreciate everything. It's a privilege to have Second Chance space. We never imagined that would be possible. It started as only 5 to 40 and then 80. Now we serve over about 250 per semester. So thank you again, and I will pass it to Martha.
Hi. So 2 years I decided to go back to school. And when I first went back to school, I had been released from being incarcerated for my struggle with addiction that I've struggled most of my life. But even though I struggled, I was what some people like to say, functioning alcoholic. But all that means to me is that I was able to pay my rent, provide for my 3 children, and work. But I had addiction issues that I never dealt with, and they finally caught up to me. And so I was incarcerated, and at that last time, it really changed my life. So I went back to school, and then I found Second Chance, and I was really hesitant to join Second Chance because I didn't want to attach myself to my past mistakes. And I'm used to doing things alone, but I decided to do something different and find community and be part of that. And they offered a expungement, and that is what got me to. So I received that. And since then, I've been on this path of doing things that I would normally not do, like speak. I started attending their weekly meetings, their support meetings, and those get really intense because people are talking about their reentry issues, and so that's safety, but it gets intense. So it's nice that we have this kind of Second Chance space. You can meet people on an informal basis. I can run in, get some coffee. I can print something out if I need to. There's hygiene products that are there, there's snacks. And then I can run into someone that I saw at a meeting, but we don't know how to talk, and it's a friendly face, familiar face that I've seen, and I'm like, hey, how's going on? So I see our students being able to connect in that way. And safe spaces, I wrote this down, are crucial for personal and academic achievement, and that's what that provides. And I wanted to say thank you for providing that to us, because a lot of us are not used to being in academic settings and formal settings. We didn't have that growing up. And to provide that now, it's empowering. And when I've been working with students, I've been finding myself saying, no one promised you it was going to be easy, but now you have the opportunity. And so it's going to be hard work, that's for sure. So that's what Second Chance has given to me, and thank you so much for that.
You can't cry, I'm gonna cry. Thank you all so much. We really, really appreciate it. In the future, we're working on a juvenile justice program. We just started bringing classes and counseling and Second Chance into our juvenile hall. We have about 20 youth that are currently incarcerated there that are part of our program. We're really trying to grow our book grants. We give book grants to students, and it's $100, and I imagine how much book costs are now. That will cover maybe one book in one of your classes. We try to do food and gas cards because basic needs can be a really huge barrier for folks as they get started. And so we're trying to grow those grants and scholarships. We give about 5 scholarships a semester from fabulous donors such as yourselves. And so through that program, we're going to be doing a car show in September to raise money for scholarships for our students. So I only see upward. When I started this job 2 years ago, we were at 80 students, and as Haley said, we're at 250 now. So it's growing. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, if that doesn't get your day off to an amazing start, I don't know what it's going to take. Congratulations to all three of you ladies. Women are so strong, and we're all so very proud of you. Thank you. The next nonprofit partner we'll hear from is the Santa Rosa Symphony. Please join me in welcoming the president and CEO of the Symphony, Andrew Bradford, and the Director of Education, Wendy Silman.
Hi. The work you do is amazing, and we are so very grateful. Simply Strings is celebrating its 10th anniversary season. The program was inspired by El Sistema, which is Venezuela's social action music network. And the premise is give a child a violin and he won't pick up a gun. When I first arrived in 2015, there were 4 boys constantly beating each other up on the playground. They were put in a string quartet and they became best friends. The effect on families and the community is huge. Parents are proud of their students, and most unusual for an El Sistema program, they're very involved with this program and even participating in a parent association. We teach music fundamentals and stringed instruments, including violin, viola, cello, and bass. And we're at Shepherd Elementary School in Roseland. 1st to 8th graders meet every day after school for 2 hours, and they all perform in Weil Hall at the Green Music Center for free concerts for youth. They also perform 3 recitals a year at Glazer Center in Santa Rosa. And the final concert this season is 10th anniversary celebration on May 17th at 6 o'clock. It's free and open to the public, and we'd be so pleased if you come to that. The Chamber Ensemble also performs at community events, and recently they played at Moe's Cafe for our Music Around Town project, and at the Santa Rosa Public Library. The program continued during COVID, meeting outside at Bayer Farm. And since then, there's great enthusiasm to join, with 62 currently enrolled students. We have a mentor program with returning students and also young musicians from our other ensembles. This year, 11 Simply Strings students are members of Santa Rosa Symphony Youth Ensembles. And more than 20 will participate in our Summer Music Academy. And this fulfills our vision to provide them with quality music education opportunities through college. By the way, when asked if they want to go to college, a resounding 100% said yes. The teaching faculty is drawn from the finest music educators in Sonoma County, and many of them are members of the Santa Rosa Symphony. And music director Francesco Leche Chong comes and visits the program twice each season. Eric Booth, who is a widely regarded international expert on El Sistema programs, visited our program, and he said that it is the best one he has seen on the West Coast. It's a big accolade, and so I asked him, why is that? And he said, well, because of the parent involvement, and also because of the incredible teaching faculty. They're just so outstanding. They teach to the individual in a group setting and set a high standard. They insist on excellence. Alex Valance, who is our head of faculty and member of the Santa Rosa Symphony, couldn't be here today because he had a gig. But he sent this message. The Simply Strings program is an incredible gem that serves the community in many ways. This after-school program provides a regular routine for kids to study music and realize untapped talent. The ripple effect of this is boundless. As one of the founding teachers, I have had the privilege to mentor some extraordinary students, including Irving, who is here today sharing his music. Students like Irving have progressed through every level, intro through chamber ensemble, and thus demonstrated great determination. Developing the discipline to practice a violin daily for several years is a great feat. And although the musical training is an important aspect of Simply Strings, the positive social environment is also an amazing backdrop. Irving came to learn the piece he will play for you because Juan Garcia, a cellist and close friend of his, made a pact with him. Juan would learn the swan from Carnival of the Animals if Irving would take up meditation from Thais. I can't think of a more positive social way to motivate self-improvement and development, or a better example of peer pressure. I am very appreciative of the impact funding because we are able to hire incredible faculty to inspire a diverse group of students toward a bright future. Most importantly, we encourage the students and give them the opportunity to learn a skill that they will have throughout their lives. Thank you for helping to make this possible. Alex Valance. Irving is 14 and in 8th grade, and he's a member of the Simply Strings Chamber Ensemble and the Santa Rosa Symphony Esperanto Youth Orchestra. He will perform Meditation by Thais. Please welcome Irving.
Move where you need to, Irving. Wherever you need to, you don't be blinded.
There you go.
Bravo, Irving. Hi, everyone. I'm Andrew. I'm the CEO of the Santa Rosa Symphony, and on behalf of everyone in the organization, I'm delighted to be here. I want to first just give this group the biggest shout out I possibly can and say thank you so very much for your generous support. It often is a cliche in the nonprofit world when we say our work wouldn't be possible without you, but I want to tell you just a little bit more about Simply Strings and the sort of financial structure of the program. So Simply Strings is offered completely free to every participant in the program, as Wendy talked about. Where's Wendy? Wendy, there's Wendy. This season we have over 60 kids from Shepherd Elementary School participating. Every participant gets a free instrument, and they get 2 instructional hours a day for 5 days. So across all 5 levels, that translates into 50 hours of music education teaching work that we're providing to all 5 levels at Shepherd every single week. As Wendy said, our teachers are some of the premier educators and performers in Sonoma County. Many of them are members of our orchestra, and we are very grateful to be able to pay them a competitive wage to teach for us. And so you can do the math. It takes a significant amount of resources to offer this program every season for the past 10 seasons. And so your support, your very generous grant, has had such a tremendous impact. There's no better embodiment of that than Irving right here, who's had years of instruction in the program, and as a result is an amazing young artist with a gorgeous sound, by the way. I have to say, a beautiful, beautiful sound. And so I want to express on behalf of our board, a number of members of whom are here today, our staff, our musicians, our teachers, myself, our education department, thank you so much. Your generous support has had a huge impact on this program. And I really hope, as Wendy said, that on Friday, May 17th at 6 o'clock at the Glazer Center in downtown Santa Rosa, all of our kids from the Simply Strings program will be on stage performing a recital. They'll play mostly as an orchestra, so you have the opportunity to see them exhibiting their teamwork skills and playing together collaboratively as an ensemble. I really hope you'll join us. I also, because the Santa Rosa Symphony beyond Simply Strings is constantly doing programming. We have a Pops concert tomorrow. We have a family concert a week from tomorrow at Green Music Center. Back on that table over there, I've put brochures and postcards and even a very special little card here where you can get a 15% off discount. If you want to come hear our Gershwin and Ellington program to end the season, we're going to do Rhapsody in Blue. We've already sold a ton of tickets. It's going to be a very full house for Saturday, Sunday, Monday performances. But we would love to see you there. And I want to just say thank you so much for being here today. And thank you for your generous support of the Simply Strings program. Thank you.
So Irving, I have to say thank you. That was absolutely beautiful. I think music is so important to our lives. I couldn't imagine a day without it. And certainly yours is just so special to hear you. And thank you to all the ladies and gentlemen at this table. You give us purpose. And we are so happy for you, and it gives us confidence that we are doing the right thing. So we're very proud of you all. Thank you very much.
That was great. Really inspiring and moving. So thank you for being here. I don't want to be too redundant. Philanthropic support provides a critical piece of what's necessary for our local nonprofits to do what they do. While there's always something we can do as individuals, as we've learned from our guests today, there's power in the collective. By pooling our resources and working together to select the grant recipients each year, we are able to make an even greater impact. We're very grateful for the opportunity to collaborate with you all. Impact 100 Redwood Circle is committed to providing funding for core mission support, a change introduced last year. Under core mission support, nonprofits no longer need to apply for a specific project. And when reviewing the applications, instead of evaluating a project, we look at the mission of the organization, the proposed use of the grant funds, and the impact the funding will have on their organization and those they serve. By awarding grants in this way, we underscore our belief that nonprofits know best how to use the funds. This year, we reintroduced the Health and Community Betterment focus area to community grants. Say that 4 times. This allowed smaller organizations with annual revenue under $500,000 to submit applications for funding to continue their work in this focus area. As a result, today we award grants in all 4 focus areas. And finally, in keeping with our goal to support our nonprofit partners more meaningfully, we were able to increase the amount of each community grant this year to $17,000. That's a milestone. It's all because of you guys. It's been a great cycle, and now it's our pleasure to introduce the 7 community grant recipients for 2024. Heather's going to take it away.
Thank you. So first of all, I'm going to ask you, I know it's the impossible, but if at all possible, can you hold your applause until all the awards have been granted? Under the Arts and Culture focus area, our first award is going to the Museum of Sonoma County. The Museum of Sonoma County opened in 1985 as a history museum and later expanded to provide dedicated spaces for art and history. Today, the museum collection offers more than 18,000 objects, as well as a sculpture garden. The museum develops programs for local students and the public and curates exhibits that are informative and innovative. Their recently opened permanent exhibit, Sonoma County Stories, explores the rich history of Sonoma County through the power of storytelling. With an intention to reveal lesser-known stories of people, often excluded from the narrative, the goal is to change the way the history of the region is seen and to cultivate a sense of belonging among underrepresented communities of Sonoma County. The grant will be used to support the Storyteller School program, launching this year, combining docent-led tours with a series of curriculum-based storytelling lessons that will be free for students of Title I schools. Please welcome Estelle Rogers, Board of Directors Chair for the Museum of Sonoma County. Estelle?
Thank you so much, Heather. Good morning. My name is Estelle Rogers. I'm chair of the board of directors of the Museum of Sonoma County. Let me also introduce our executive director, Jeff Nathanson, and
Just hold that up a little closer.
and our director of development and marketing, Rena Wang. Thank you to Impact 100 for this generous award in recognition of the museum's importance to the community and what we intend to do to further that importance. We're also grateful to Liz Uribe and Stacy Pastis for nominating the museum and to all of you for believing in our work. We will use the Impact 100 grant to present educational programs in connection with our permanent exhibition, Sonoma County Stories, as Heather mentioned, which is now on view in the historic 1910 Post Office building on 7th Street in downtown Santa Rosa. Sonoma County Stories is inspired by the oral histories of Gayla Barron and presents a multi-generational, multicultural view of the rich and diverse history of our county. The related education programs, titled Sonoma County Storytellers, are created for students in our local schools. Through the guidance of our teaching storytellers, students will learn how to express themselves through the telling of their own stories and to appreciate the stories of others. With our new program, along with our well-established Art for Kids program, we expect to reach over 3,000 students this year. The Impact 100 grant will provide crucial funding to help us reach more students than ever before. In addition to Sonoma County Stories and our excellent educational programs, the museum presents a robust schedule of art and history exhibitions in our 2 buildings on 7th Street. Currently on view are a sculpture exhibition, A Question of Balance, and On Tap, an exhibition about hops and craft brewing in Sonoma County. We hope you'll visit us soon and return often. The hops exhibit, by the way, is opening today, so please join us. We are so grateful to Impact 100 for supporting our mission to engage and inspire our diverse community with art and history exhibitions, collections, and public programs that are inclusive, educational, and relevant. On behalf of everyone connected with the museum, thank you for recognizing the museum with this generous gift, and please come see the impact you have by visiting the museum. Thank you very much. Best check I've ever gotten. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think that it's your paper.
Our next community grant recipient in the arts and culture area is Raises Collective. Raises Collective was founded in 2015 to address the need for an organization led by people of color in Sonoma County to lift up marginalized residents. The collective focuses on Latinx, immigrant and indigenous youth, women, and farm worker families. Its mission is to empower and mobilize these communities through the arts, culture, leadership development, and community education. The collective proposes using the grant funds to continue its ongoing work with youth and artists of color, supporting 2 programs in particular: Cosecha Youth Empowerment and Uplifting Artists of Color. Please welcome Renee Cesedo from Raises Collective and Pioneer High School student and member of the Raises Collective Youth Program, Daniela Vargas Medina. Ladies.
Thank you. Thank you so much. On behalf of the Raíces Collective and all of our members, we want to thank you for your generosity, your solidarity, and your support for our important work. If it were up to me this morning, Daniela would be speaking her wisdom. But she asked me to thank you on behalf of our organization for this wonderful gift. We will continue our work in not only offering vital services to young people and to families in the Latinx, immigrant, and indigenous communities here in our county, but we will not stop until everyone is empowered, is engaged, and participates in order to make social change and better their lives, the lives of their families, our community, and their world. So thank you so much, Impact 100. You are a bunch of righteous women. Most of our members are youth and women, So it's no coincidence that we are partners. Partners in crime. So this donation means a lot to us, and on our behalf, Daniela will accept it.
This is such fun. We are very proud to award the first grant under the Education Focus Area to First Responders Resiliency. First Responders Resiliency was founded by first responders to provide those serving on the front lines during emergencies with the skills needed to become more resilient, both on duty and off, to help them avoid post-traumatic stress injury. First Responders Resiliency leverages current research and science to support responder wellness. They have worked with CAL FIRE, the Sonoma County Sheriff's Office, and several other local and state agencies, resulting in what clients have described as a profound impact. The grant will be used to expand the organization's reach by developing its online training program. Please welcome First Responders Resiliency founder and executive director and Impact 100 new member, Susan Farron. Hi, Susan. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Wow, that's a lot of faces out there. Thank you, everybody, for letting us be here, and congratulations to those of you who have already benefited from this. This is incredible to be part of this. I just want to say how grateful I am to be standing in a room full of women. And for those of you who are men, including Chris, thank you for tolerating us. I mean, being part of this. I want to just offer kind of a countdown that came to me this morning that I hope inspires you as well, for those of you who are just going into this world of making a difference for women. 10 years ago, I had what you would consider a pretty normal life. I've been married 23 years. I had 5 children. I'd been a paramedic for 30 years. And my husband and I were getting ready to retire, launch our children into the world of higher education, and spend their inheritance. But 9 years ago, I discovered I was going to be going through an unwanted divorce. And that process began, and my life began to change. 8 years ago, that divorce became final, and I was diagnosed with terminal kidney cancer and given a year to live. Subsequently, I would go through major surgery, and they would remove part of my kidney, a tumor, and paralyze a portion of my abdominal muscle. But that's not really where this program began. It began when a surgeon came into my room 3 days after my operation and said, "We see a lot of this in first responders." I began to research, what did that mean? What do you mean we were seeing a lot of organ cancer in first responders? And I just went home and started to research organ cancer in first responders. And that led me to information about heart attacks, early death rates, divorce rates, addiction rates, adultery rates, suicide rates, and I was alarmed. I had been doing this for 30 years. I had seen what we suffered with, but I didn't recognize that it was killing us until I had become sick. Now, the good news is I was given a year to live, and the spoiler alert is I survived. But that research compelled me to do something. And 7 years ago, I sold my house in Roanoke Park for the seed money to start this organization to help other first responders and their families learn how to prevent post-traumatic stress, not just treat it after they'd gotten sick. 6 years ago, I hosted my first conference in Sonoma, California for 40 first responders, hoping it would be like a Flex hair commercial. They would tell 2 friends, and they would tell 2 friends, and so on and so on. 5 years ago, I signed my first contract with CAL FIRE. 4 years ago, COVID happened, and I have no idea what happened after that. 3 years ago, we were able to acquire 18 acres in Cotati, California, to build the first responder resiliency center in the world. We haven't done it, but we have the land. 2 years ago, I found out about Impact 100. I didn't even know this organization exists, and I couldn't afford to join. 1 year ago, I stayed on that track. I pursued Impact 100. I had the money, and I joined. I wanted to help other women who had a mission and a cause to be able to do something powerful with their lives. And then, this year, I joined this group so that I could help other women, and you in turn are helping me by giving us a grant to help us expand our work, to get this work online so that we can help other families and other first responders the families of first responders and first responders be able to learn how to keep themselves healthy and alive. 5 years from now, I want to have that center built, a 20,000 square foot center for first responders and their families to get the services that they need in real time. And 10 years from now, I want to have 40 more built across the country to serve our first responders. And all of this is possible because a group of women I'd never met are helping me to do the work so I can turn around and help other women do the work that they want to do. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of this.
Our next award under the Education Focus area will support Magnolia Project. Magnolia Project partners with Sonoma County middle and high schools, providing programs to re-engage students in school, combat chronic absenteeism, and help students plan for life after high school. Through their programs, students build career readiness skills, gain hands-on work experience, and connect with future employers. Magnolia Project was recently recognized as a leader for the innovative approach to teaching and career technical education by New Schools Venture Fund, a national funder of education nonprofits. Grant funds will be used to update Magnolia's technology platform and to expand the middle school career exploration pathway to 6 schools in 4 more districts. Please join us in welcoming Gia Biaggi, founder and executive director of Magnolia Project.
Hi, everybody. It's really nice to meet everyone. This is like a really hard act to follow. Really, you did an amazing job, and now I'm like, oh, okay. So just thank you guys so much for your support of Magnolia Project. We're a small but mighty organization growing next year to serve 400 students across 13 schools in Sonoma, Marin, and Napa counties. I grew up here. I went through the public schools here. My experience, my lived experience has led me to kind of think about different ways we could be teaching and different ways our students could learn. And without Impact 100, we would not be able to grow this quickly. So thank you for recognizing the value of what we're doing, and thank you for supporting us and supporting me, a younger person and a woman, to make this possible. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
And thank you for what you do. Under the Environment Focus area, we're pleased to award a grant to the Bird Rescue Center. The Bird Rescue Center has operated in Sonoma County for nearly 50 years. Founded in 1976 and open year-round, 24/7, the center is the only organization in Sonoma County treating all species of native wild birds, regardless of age, illness, or injury. Their mission is to rescue, rehabilitate, and release back to the wild sick, injured, or orphaned native wild birds, and to educate the public about the vital role these native birds play in maintaining a healthy environment. Each year, thousands of birds are rehabilitated by the center. The grant funds will provide natural protein diets for the birds in their care, a practice that is essential during critical growth phases. This will ensure increased survivability once the birds are released. Please welcome Ashton Klutz, the Executive Director of the Bird Rescue Center.
Hi, thank you all. It's been just an amazing morning, and I've been blown away by not only meeting all of you who I've had the opportunity to meet, but kind of matching some names and faces finally, and also listening to some incredible stories and just recognizing the impact that this group is making across just so many different communities and all within our own community of Sonoma County and area. So the Bird Rescue Center, as mentioned, we see about 3,000 patients per year in our hospital of 120 to 150 different species. And this grant just shows to us that you recognize the real, tangible, and important community resource that we are. And there are no words to properly say thank you. At this moment, as I'm here enjoying this wonderful morning, we already have over a dozen babies, ranging from baby great horned owls, barn owls, and this morning I was up early feeding a tiny little featherless scrub jay, as well as some baby hummingbirds and juncos. So it's already going to good work, and baby season will be upon us, so pay attention to the birds in your yard. And so thank you so much for everything that your organization does, and it means so much to us at the Bird Rescue Center.
Our next grant, the first under the Health and Community Betterment focus area, is awarded to Alicia's Pantry. Alicia's Pantry's mission is to alleviate hunger in Sonoma County by providing nutritious food with kindness and respect for all. Since 2005, the all-volunteer nonprofit has provided fresh produce and staples to anyone in need. When the pandemic emerged, the pantry found ways to adapt to meet the incredible growth in numbers of people requiring help. Alicia's Pantry stands out among others as their volunteers become familiar with the client's individual circumstances and are able to adjust the food provided to accommodate the individual. Grant funds will be used to support a recently appointed coordinator's position and to purchase food to ensure sustainability at a time when demand for its services has grown and the cost of food is skyrocketing. Please give a warm welcome to Robert Mills, Program Coordinator for Alicia's Pantry.
Well, this is quite an honor. Thank you very much. I'm very nervous, but yeah, I made some notes, thank God, because I wouldn't be able to do this without them. But on behalf of the board, the volunteers, and the clients, we thank you so much. This is very helpful to us. This is going to help facilitate and help us give even more to our clients, to the people who need us. Your support not only recognizes, I'm going to read, sorry about that. Your support not only recognizes our efforts, but significantly bolsters our mission during a time of critical need. Last March, on the 28th, we've served 207 individuals, which helped feed 550 53 participants in 1 week, and that was our biggest week since we started in 2015. So this money, this grant comes at a very special time. Our numbers are growing every week, and so we're finding much more help. Your timely contribution will profoundly enhance our capacity to provide essential food and the services we provide. I would like to say that without the volunteers that help, their selfless contribution to being there every Thursday would not happen without them. So they deserve some recognition. They come out, they talk to our clients, and they're really personable with the people we serve, and that brings a sense of community to what we do as well. So I'm going to make this short. So thank you once again for this wonderful grant. It's really going to make a difference in the future. So thank you very much.
That's great. Thank you. Our final grant under the Health and Community Betterment Focus Area is awarded to our Village Closet. Our Village Closet was established unofficially in late 2018 when 2 foster moms recognized an unmet need among local foster families and youth. Caregivers needed material goods, connection, and extra support. Foster youth needed essentials, the power of choice, and a chance to feel seen and be heard. In 2021, the moms opened the OVC Resource Center as a free store for caregivers and youth who come to shop. They shop for high-quality clothing and shoes, toys and accessories, books, bedding, school supplies, toiletries, and more. In 2021, it served 35 youth and caregivers each month. That monthly number has now grown to 300 or more each month. Grant funds will be used to increase OVC's capacity, invest in technology, and expand the essentials inventory to meet rising demand. Please give a warm welcome to Amanda Kitchens, co-founder and executive director of our Village Closet.
Thank you all. Martha, I too did not realize that doing this meant I had to speak in front of people, a lot of people. Again, very, very grateful to be here today among such inspiring women and organizations. I'm proud that we're women-founded, all women-led, all women-staffed. And we are helping, I'm very proud to say this, we are now helping a lot of biological parents that are reunifying with their children. And they're probably some of our most grateful participants because they come in expecting to be judged and shamed. And instead, we congratulate them, and we're there one-on-one with them, and we're helping them feel comfortable and feel welcomed, feel seen, and accepted. And that makes a big difference. So when we started this, and like Heather said, when we started this and it was just like 30 people a month, and then that resource center was really when our boots hit the ground and we were able to start doing the work of our mission. And so here we are almost 3 years later, and there's still so much work to do. We know there are more eligible youth in foster care out there. We serve ages 0 to 25. We know there are more eligible foster parents, relative caregivers, adoptive parents, and transition age youth of foster care as well. How many of you knew about us before you read about us or today? See, that's so little. We have so much work to do. So your belief in us and your belief in our mission and what we can be and what we do is it leaves me speechless. So we thank you so much for that. I left my phone at the table. I wanted to read you some impact quotes. One comes from a kid. I was scared when my family fought, but when I come to OVC, I don't feel scared. Your clear bags have become a symbol of safety and security and acceptance in a community that needed it most. Dear Amanda and all the OVC Angels, thank you for all you do to support youth and families. In the midst of continuous change, you all brought big smiles and shrieks of joy to this kid. He's very excited to wear the costume and celebrate his favorite holiday. I think it was an Among Us costume. Amanda and everyone at OVC, thank you so much for the bed. Now we can spend weekends with our dad and get closer to reunifying with him. Thanks also for all the great clothes. You're cool. Which is very exciting when it comes from a tween or a teenager. Your clear bags, oh, I read that. I hope you all have many, many more years of helping others. Thank you so much for all you do for those who don't have the family and support they should. Thank you for being a light in the community that chases away the darkness of feeling alone, not only for me, but for our community. Our Village Closet, you really have created a village where one was needed most. I am incredibly proud of the work that we do, the people that work alongside me, the volunteers that we have, the women that I get to work with, and the work that we will be able to do even more so now because of your belief in our mission. So thank you very much for that.
And now Colleen. Hard act to follow.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Very moved by everything we've heard. I'm sorry. I'm a sob sister. What can I say? I mean, every one of you. I'm just so overwhelmed with the work that is represented here in this room. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you to our members for continuing to be here and to support the work that we hear about in our community in so many ways. It's been an honor for Heather and I, along with our committee, to serve the community grants process this year. We're excited to see the relationships between these wonderful organizations and Impact 100 Redwood Circle develop. Congratulations to you all. And now, I'd like to invite our president of Impact 100 Redwood Circle, Christy Pitchell, to the lectern and say goodbye and good night. It's on. It's directional. So keep it at your mouth.
Okay, thank you, Colleen and Heather, for arranging this meeting. Closer? Okay. Thank you, Colleen and Heather. And thank you to all the nonprofit representatives who are here with us today and those of you who shared your experience with us this morning. Hearing from you is what inspires the members of our organization to contribute and to be involved. I am now very pleased to introduce our special guest this morning, Lisa Carreño, CEO of United Way of the Wine Country. Lisa has devoted her career, her energy, and her insights to social justice and leadership of nonprofit community-building organizations. In addition to her current leadership role at the United Way, Lisa previously directed the YWCA Sonoma County with focus on empowering women and girls. At 10,000 Degrees, she worked to create greater college access for first-generation students in Sonoma.
I first worked with Lisa just after the 2017 fires, when we were part of a project sponsored by the Community Foundation to integrate all sectors and perspectives in fire recovery planning. In the 2 years that we worked together on the steering committee of what became Map 1 Sonoma, I was impressed with Lisa's ability to bring people with different perspectives together, and her soft-spoken and powerful way of keeping the long-term equity goals not only in mind, but always on the table. Lisa applies her sharp, inquiring, analytical mind and her compassionate nature, working not just to build bridges between places and people, but to create a common understanding of what creates mutual benefit and community. Perhaps these and other qualities are why Lisa has been asked to serve on many boards, commissions, and advisory groups, way too many to name here. Her current roles, in addition to a role as CEO of United Way, include serving on the boards of many organizations that are well known to our members: Los Cien, Community Foundation Sonoma County, Forget Me Not Farm Children's Services, Pepperwood Preserve Foundation, and Sonoma County Secure Families Collaborative. We've invited Lisa to share her perspective and some closing thoughts with us. Please welcome Lisa.
Thank you, Christy. Good morning, everyone. I'm Lisa Carino, and I stand for kindness, compassion, belonging, and courage for myself and all others. Before I share my remarks about our community needs and the value of philanthropy to address those needs, I want to take a moment and see and congratulate and thank the committee, the chairs, Colleen and Heather, and all 7 of you recipients. And I also want to reflect on the work that the Impact 100 Redwood Circle has done over the last, I'll say 4 years, because I think some of the first conversations I had with Impact Circle leadership on equity and understanding racism and institutionalized and historical and systemic oppression started at the beginning of the pandemic. What you're investing in here, and I'm looking at my sisters Nancy and Celeste over there to see if I'm reading this right. You're not just investing in organizational capacity for these 7 organizations. And you're not just investing in their urgent purpose, their urgent missions. You're investing in belonging. You're investing in connection. You're investing in their capacity to do their work in the service of helping every person and every being to the Bird Rescue Center, which is the one, genuinely, that I think absolutely affects us all, because birds are pollinators, right? Your capacity to see the value of the work that they're doing and the investment they're making in those they serve helps those they serve fulfill their unique role and their unique purpose in our world today. Every one of us in this room has a unique purpose. Every one of us around the world, all beings, we all have a unique purpose. There are no 2 of us on this earth. The beauty of the way that you're doing your philanthropy today is that it is informed by this understanding of our innate oneness. All of us are connected. So I just want to say thank you for doing such a beautiful job. I know why you get emotional. This is soul work. This is soul work. So I just want to start with a really heartfelt and full-throated congratulations to all of you for all of it. And I pray that you have the courage and compassion to stay your course. Christy invited me to share my reflections on United Way and our sense of our community needs. And I'm going to say this, Christy didn't put it this way, but I'm going to say this in view of what I just reflected back to you about the work that you're doing. The radical transformational leadership power of philanthropy and the nonprofit sector, and the importance of generosity in community resilience building, in healing and repair, in creating wholeness. I feel moved to share how United Way of the Wine Country has evolved over the past several years, however, before I share my reflections, because United Way isn't a brand that is known for equity building, or really deeply understanding systemic oppression. And honestly, I would not, and we as an organization would not, have these reflections, those that I will share with you now, had we not done a lot of deep reflection and deep learning internally and through appreciative inquiry in our community. So our origin story is going to sound a little familiar. United Way was founded in the late 1960s by Henry Trioni and Henry's Angels. People like Hugh Cotting, Walter Hansel, the Benedetti family, and others that often formed collectives to fill voids of unmet needs, usually at Henry's instigation or often at Henry's instigation. And for decades, they harnessed the collective impact investment of employers and their employees to invest in the good work that was being done by nonprofits in Sonoma, Mendocino, and Lake County. Typically, United Way volunteers were awarding those grants to organizations that are serving children and youth, meeting basic human needs, serving seniors, and responding to emergency needs, such as domestic violence and sexual assault and child abuse. These grants supported the backbone of those agencies. They were helping those agencies build their capacity, maintain their capacity to serve. Over the next several decades, United Way fundraising and community impact investments evolved, especially focusing on education and health and income-generating initiatives. We focused our programs and initiatives on those particular areas because we recognize them as the pillars of life. We secured grants and we tried to position ourselves as a coalition partner committed to collective impact. Critically, the impacts of the emergencies and disasters over the past 6 years, coupled with our own recent learnings about our community's needs and the root causes of those needs, have forced United Way over the past few years to rethink our why and our what and our how. Today, United Way of the Wine Country has evolved. We acknowledge that racism and longstanding economic systems have caused ongoing economic, race, and social inequities in our communities. Today, United Way is working to break down these barriers. As I said a moment ago, we would not have framed our work this way a decade ago. Why am I sharing this with you now? It's because we've been well-intentioned, but often not fully understanding the spaces in which Henry and his angels and thousands and thousands and thousands of angels, many among you, decided to share your time, invest your talent, and invest the many blessings that were bestowed upon you to pay it forward in our community. We just did not understand the root causes of what so many people in our community struggle with. Today, we are a student of racism and anti-racism, anti-racist work. And we are learning what it means to become community-centered. I would say that we are learning to become more deeply human and understand that oneness that I talked about a moment ago. We are striving to be in community with our centered community. We are a convener, and our work focuses on building understanding in philanthropy and the nonprofit sector so that we can move towards equity-centered systems change. And that's how Christy's path and mine crossed. We strive to be a sense maker, a coherer, and a guardian of impact. We're striving to be a balancer and a hub that is attracting and organizing the generosity of our local business sector and our donor community to affect equity-centered systems change and to scale understanding and to scale investment in innovation, policy making, decision making, media influence, in order to build trusted partners and a network of trusted partners that are committed as a collective to human capital building. We are ultimately a learning organization, and I pray we also always have the courage and compassion to do that. Again, why am I sharing this with you? It's because as an organization, United Way is so much like Impact 100 Redwood Circle. We are a work in progress. The perspective I have on our community comes from what I've just shared. It's mine, and it is United Way's. If you were watching KQED last night, at about 7:30, you might have seen Tell Me More with Kelly Corrigan. And at the close of her program, talking about health and well-being, and what factors contribute to it and what factors detract from it. She made this observation. Health and well-being are systemically caused and systemically solved. My perspective on the value of the nonprofit sector in our community and your generosity and the generosity of so many others, expressed in so many ways. The ways that people contribute their time, their ideas, as well as their hard-earned money, is that when we invest in the urgent work that's needed, with the intention of investing in fairness and equity, we are filling gaps that are often unseen, in fact, invisibilized, by the systems and institutions that operate by rote, blindly, and usually indifferently in favor of efficiency, which is not all it's cracked up to be, or legal compliance. Because we've simply forgotten that, as I said a bit ago, all beings in this world are precious and unique and have a unique purpose. I love loved hearing the stories of all 7 of the grantees and hearing about Second Chance and Simply Strings. I think Christy and I were both fighting back tears throughout the whole presentation. Generosity in America is in crisis. But for the billion-dollar gifts, the multi-billion-dollar gifts that have been given over recent years, if you take those billion-dollar gifts out of the calculation of generosity in America, real generosity in America is on the decline, and it has been for decades. I was sharing with my mom last night that it appears from studies by organizations like Giving USA that generosity as we know it, giving as we know it, will disappear in fewer than 5 decades. And what we don't get as yet, but need to understand, and you folks are champions for this, you're the living embodiment of reciprocity, is that the acts of generosity that fund the Bird Rescue Center, that fund our public school system and our public health clinics, that fund the museums, that fund zoological parks and regional parks, and so many other things, will evaporate in fewer than 5 decades until and unless and because we recognize that our fates are bound together. We are genuinely one. What kind of brought it home to me even more last night as I was talking with my mom was this. How many of you attended any education institution and received financial support of any kind to participate in programs or attend that institution? Like, I was a Girl Scout, I went to Catholic school, I went to university. All of that was supported by the generosity of parishioners in my Catholic church, donors from the community, businesses in the community. I wouldn't be here but for all those strangers who for decades had supported what led to the investment in me. I want to thank you guys for practicing radical compassion, radical fairness, radical dignity in your generosity. I want to encourage you to stay your course, because your grants demonstrate the power of resonating with that oneness, and your investment has created a sacred bond with every life whose grants have been touched by your generosity. Keep it going. Our community needs you.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you. As we conclude our first award event of the year, we're looking forward to some future activities. I'll just mention a few. While our second award event is still 6 months away, nominations for the Impact Grant will open this month. Members will receive an email on April 29th announcing the Impact Grant nomination period. The email will give you recommendations on things to consider when you're selecting an organization to nominate, and some resources to identify impactful organizations that you may not already know. I hope that hearing from all of our speakers today will encourage you to get involved in the nominating process. In the meantime, mark your calendars for an event on August 1st. Members and their guests will be invited to meet at the Children's Museum for a late afternoon summer social event. You'll find the details on our website, along with dates for various meetings, for new members, spotlights, ed talks, and other activities. This morning was made possible by the collective effort of many committees. Thank you to the community grants, the liaison, the events, membership, and marketing committees. As we close the morning's program, we'd like to ask that all of our new grant partners join us on the patio for photos. Thank you all for being here.